Good morning. Good to see so many people up early on Saturday morning. Thank you for coming. So this is my pebble pad. When it first came out, I struggled with it a lot. Didn't we, Wendy?
I used to get a lot of emails from them. A very close email connection.
Yeah. But it's finally. I think especially with this new edition, it's worked out so much better. I prefer this one to the older one. But I mean, yes. So we see this kind of timeline of activity, which is something I'd like to talk about. Is that because we start something in second year, that we see this constant kind of adding of material over the years, and when you go back and look at your original philosophy of teaching and music education, that you see, you think, well, did I really think that back then? It's such a good thing for development, in my opinion, because things like you develop naturally, as humans develop. I've got. I seem to add a lot of stuff, material over the years. A lot of the stuff material is from assignments. I've put up my lesson plans from my practicum experience at Wollongong High School last year, which Jennifer was fortunate enough to guide me through that. And yeah, so really, so I've got a lot of just that kind of material. As also, well, my degree is of course in music education, but I'm a composition principal study. So I put up some of my my compositions, and for this one, for instance, I call it Musical Expeditions. And it's kind of like a really handy teaching tool. It's about a 90-page document that kind of it's essentially it's my philosophy of education. It's looking at creativity in the classroom and so forth. So anyway, so I mean I could get to it. I could show you, but anyway, yeah, it's a PDF. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff there. I really don't have much to say to add to what Blade and Belinda said. I think they outlined things pretty well in that originally we found it a bit clunky and hard to deal with originally, but now it's getting better. So which I'm happy for, because again this is something that employers will look for. That will be kind of sending out, at the end of the year, for our future job prospects and so forth. So I think it's an incredibly useful tool for kind of in terms of a career. So it's a time. For me, it was a time-consuming process. So you've got to spend lots of time, and in fourth year you don't have much time. But I think as time goes on and you learn a little bit more about it, that's what happens. I guess you just try to think how best you can add these things as time goes on. Really,
Can I add something to that?
Please.
As their teacher, this was my first group that I used the ePortfolio with, and I've now done it with 2 successive groups of students. As I've become more familiar too, that's something that I've encouraged in them as I've introduced it, and as I've said, this is what we're going to do, and this is one of the things you can do. So I found the next year after these students, that was something that they started to do right in their initial thing. Not all of them, but particularly some of the older students, some of the more mature students. We had a few mature age students, and they were the ones who could see, I think, that that's a really useful thing. So right from the beginning, they started to include reflection in there. I was really thrilled to just hear Ben say that, because I haven't taught these students for 2 years. So that just made me so happy to hear him say that he could go back and see the development, because I think for these students, because it becomes part of an assignment, quite often they're using it in their class and then they don't look at it again until the next lecturer asks them to do something, and then so on. But seeing that these people have now taken it in and started to add different things themselves that weren't requirements, I think that's a major leap. You know, but I guess part of the thing of only coming back to it after a time is that they can see the difference. They're doing amazing, you know, there's amazing growth in what they're doing. So, yeah, that was very exciting for me, Ben.
Yeah, I think one thing I would like to maybe see is the mingling of the different years when we use them, because we learn a lot from peer interaction. So I think it would be beneficial if we kind of bounced ideas off not only of fourth year, but also third and second, and even if first years starting on it too.
So one of the things that we've incorporated into this year's second year is, rather than them just sharing their pebble pad with me, they're actually going to share it with each other. So that, because one of our things has been that they're really not sure what everyone else is doing. So we've actually changed the way that we share them so that now it will be with each other as well. Would that be good, guys?
Yeah, it would. All right, thank you very much.